I ate at that same table with you. And she said, who can sacrifice for this ministry more than I can? And I said, you're hired. You know, and she's actually 23 now. And me and her, I get after her a lot of times because I'll come back from a trip and she'll say, Dad, where's the receipts for this, the receipts for this? And she starts putting rules down to me, and I tell her, you know, I try to remind her, you remember who founded this thing. And she says, well, you remember what you hired me for. So she always brings that back to mind.
There are some in the religious community who would take issue with meeting the violence with other violence.
Yeah, I would never condone violence or even try to condone what I do is right. But I would ask you this year, who was David, who was Gideon, who was Joshua? I could go on, but I'm not here to discuss that. I'm not here to try to make anything I've ever done, you know, right or wrong in somebody's eyes. You know, I shut drug dealers down. I shut 3 major drug dealers down in my area. 8 children died in 5 weeks' time. You have children? Yes. Okay. I lost my son to heroin 5 years ago. I'm not going to lose any more kids to drugs. You ain't going to be a drug dealer in my town. So it don't matter if I'm in Africa or where I'm at. I'm going to get it done. You know, and I would never stand behind a pulpit and try to even let on that Jesus Christ condones violence. But he did say to his disciples after he was resurrected, you know, I'm sending you out this time. Take an extra pair of shoes, take an extra coat. If you don't have a sword, sell your coat and buy one. What was the sword for? Somebody else.
Do you hope that people take something away from the film about
yeah.
the actual conflict,
you know,
about the Sudanese conflict? That part?
You know, absolutely. 2 things. You know, most people's going to this movie because of Gerard Butler. And there's a few people that's going to the movie because they hear it's a true story about Sam Childers. But I think we have had over 1,000+ people email us or call our office that told us that after they've seen the movie, it's not about Sam Childers anymore. It's about them. And what are you going to do? We need to realize there's children dying around the world. You know, the movie only shows a little tiny fraction of what we do. We're big into sex trafficking here in the U.S. You know, some people's trying to expose it. I'm not. I'm trying to bring it down. And so we're doing a lot. I speak in high schools, colleges on drugs and alcohol constantly. So it's not just about Africa. It's about motivating people around the world. And the big thing is I hope people can see the movie that are in the world, that is of the world, that's all messed up, and see that if I can change, they can also change. And lastly, it gives me a platform to stand up and tell people to educate yourself what's going on in Sudan. Joseph Kony, the leader of the Lord Resistant Army, is only a small little problem of what's going on inside of South Sudan or Darfur. Darfur has a genocide going on. South Sudan had a genocide. A lot of people say, well, now they're in peace. They got their own country. Totally false. False statement. They're fighting in the Blue Nile. They're fighting in the Nuba Mountains. Abyei, there's constant fighting right now. President Bashir just motivated 5,000 troops to move in along the Sudan border where they're getting ready to attack. I mean, you can find all this stuff out on the internet. The big problem of Sudan is the president of Northern Sudan, Bashir. He's the only president to ever have war crime charges placed on him and still be in office. And he's not just causing a problem in Sudan. It goes the whole way to Congo because Joseph Kony is financed by the president of Northern Sudan, and he's killing people in the Congo. Some people say, well, Joseph Kony is he's ended now. He's not really doing anything. 1,000 people abducted since the first of the year, and over 200 people killed. That's a problem. If one child is abducted, that's a problem.
When was the last time that you were over there? I mean, how
I just
often
got back I spend about 7 months a year in Africa. Wow. But we just don't work in Sudan. I have 3 major projects going on in Uganda. I have a project in Ethiopia. We have the orphanage in Sudan. We're getting ready to go into Somalia. And also here in the U.S., I got a campground in Pennsylvania. I'm working all the time and stuff with troubled youth. We have a very good team with us right now. I mean, our work has really grew over the last few years.
So is it 7 months completely, or like 7 months altogether?
No, I'm there for up to 5-6 weeks, and then I'm back here raising funds, and then back over there.
Okay.
Yeah, for the budget that we have, unfortunately, I have to be on the road raising funds a lot, so that's why I'm back and forth.
Are you hoping that this film, in terms of bringing people to kind of help to your cause, especially because, you know, if it were to be adapted as maybe a smaller movie or a Christian movie, but you've got a huge star.
I got a certain amount of money for the movie myself that I get paid all the balance of it here soon. But I don't want to make this movie out that everybody is to help me.
Sure.
What I tell everyone, and I've said it to many different people, is get on the internet, educate yourself. Find someone that you are comfortable with supporting. Do I need help? Absolutely. But I don't want anyone to support our work unless they feel comfortable doing it. I rescue children. No matter whatever means I have to go to, I rescue children. That's what we do. And it's not just Africa for us, it's around the world. And I mean, we got a serious problem here in the U.S., serious problem. And I have a lot of people say to me, well, Sam, I thought you were just in Africa. I got a platform now to speak out on all the serious problems that's going on around the world that is affecting me and also all of us in this room. And we have a serious problem in Darfur. Darfur has, in one area, over 6,000 children dying per month. But we have probably that dying here in the U.S. from drugs and alcohol and suicide and many other things. And if everyone in this room, if we all just learn to do something about it, something, you know, stop getting on other people's cases, stop looking how to criticize people, let's work on how to fix the problem. We can get something done.
Every person of faith has moments in life where they feel like their faith is challenged. Was there a moment for you when you were in Africa? It didn't give it
to me just before I come in here.
Just before you came in? You're like, I got to deal with all these press people.
I believe it's every day. I believe it is every day for me.
Yeah. What do you think is the secret to getting through that, though?
You know, I mean, I don't want to sound like a religious person because those are the people that hung Jesus on the cross.
Right.
But, I mean, I pray all the time, man. I pray all the time, you know, and I pray because I'm not an educated person at all. I don't have no education at all. 30 years ago, I couldn't read or write. But I wrote a book, you know, that they're making a movie about. And I wrote a second book that they say is going to do unbelievable, too.